Welcome back, everybody. Talmin Legends Session 9. Close to the end, and we are joined today by everyone. We got the whole squad in the building. We're just going to go ahead and do our little recap today. So let it, Tara.
Right. Last time we met, the team, beat the Queen Pincher, finally, and we headed back to the inn to rest for the evening. Felix was incredibly generous and bought us a bottle of wine to share, while Tara fixed Valen's rapier and told the tale of the dragon. Before bed, she does do a Taraka reading for herself, which came up showing everything is very unbalanced and out of control in her life at the moment, and it was fairly fitting. Theo has a moment where he sleepwalks and seems to be his true self. The innkeeper said that she has seen that look before and recognized it as something from a very powerful sorcerer. So should we seek to help Theo, that would be our next steps. In the morning, after a night's rest, we all head over to the resort where we meet Winston Winrin, a Kalendor elf. We are there to investigate the murder of Baylor Geraldine, an esteemed romance novelist. The local royal guard has some evidence to share with us. They have narrowed it down to 3 guests. Baylor's ex-lover Clarissa, the rival novelist Thalion, and Henry, another guest who was staying. Winston does ask for our help in mending his robe. After some sweet talking from Tara to try to get additional information from him, she does fix it. And eventually we head off to begin investigating and talking to. And just to backtrack for a moment at our night in the inn, Jinshi and Felix find a moment alone where Felix shares a deeply personal story of how he lost his arm with Jin. And they are able to strengthen their friendship over the story.
One-handed friendship.
One-handed friendship.
I think that was it, right? Now you know, first half of the video cut out. Tragic. But here we are. All right. Thank you, Tara. That was a banger. All right. So let's. Oh, we left off.
Yeah, we
here.
left off directly in the resort.
All right. We left off in the resort. All right. Oh, test player's not there. He's worried about test player. All right, gang. Well, here we are. Just talked to Winston, from the guard, Royal Guard Jerry. And what would you like to do?
Are we supposed to see through that wall?
No. Do you see through the wall? Oh, through none of the other walls?
All ones where our current subjects are, or what are they called?
So you see this room, but you don't see any of the other rooms?
And this one and this one.
What the hell? Okay. Let's see if this helps. All right. Do you guys still have vision? Oh, I know what it is.
Oh,
so
okay.
In there. Okay, well,
Gotcha.
I'll figure that out. Let me add it to my notes.
Right. So Felix, how do you think we should best approach their name and help everybody? Do we be a little more harsh about. A lot of the clues point to you, and you should just tell us what you know and make sure you don't make this harder on yourself.
To try to fool them into a false sense of security. Make them think that we're trying to help them, and maybe through that we can gain more. But though, perhaps there should be some... He thinks about it for a moment, and he goes, perhaps there should be some of us who pretend not to know each other, one be a little bit more aggressive, actually investigating the murder, and two of us that act more sympathetic so that they've been caught or are being getting onto.
Oh, I like that.
Felix will look over to Valen and Jinshi and speak up and say, Jinshi, Valen, perhaps with your assistance, maybe you two can act as more prevalent in your status. Me and Tara, both of us, we can try to sympathize with them more after you talk to them, and maybe they'll let their guard down or speak to us more if they think that we're trying to help them.
Wait, where's Hal?
Hal
Aren't they with
is
Vito?
asleep at the inn, sprinting through town. Here he comes. He sprints. There you
As
go.
he arrives, it occurs to Tara. We should probably give him very detailed instructions. Maybe not.
Hey guys,
maybe
what's
details
going
not.
on?
I agree.
Well, Hal. We're bad cop.
Head cop.
All right.
What am I doing?
Our three guests here might have murdered. We are trying to help.
And I have to intimidate. He crawls over this giant pillow, and is just like rolling, trying to get to where Felix is.
Steve remark, this is why it's good to have someone like Hal.
Excellent.
Or-
Hey, well, I suppose I open the door now. Felix will just... Oh.
Go. Where is it? Is it this room?
Here, that's... We were pointed out
Ah.
too.
Hey, who's in here?
Not the... Felix is gonna point at that one.
Yeah, what's going
Felix will
Oh
just
my
go over to Tara and whisper, I think he's a little too good at this. The other person waiting to shake it out.
on?
They hear him, right? They hear him through the walls. It's an intimidation tactic. No, he's coming. But when will he get to that room?
Oh boy.
What are you rolling? Oh. Well, who are you intimidating? You're just rolling.
Yeah, this guy. Ah, what's going on in here?
He rolls off of the bed, falls on the ground, his robe. You see his little golden ass shining as he stands up and tries to collect himself. And he's
I
screaming.
grab him by the collar and throw him out the door.
Throw him out the door?
Yeah, into the hallway.
All right.
Felix is gonna immediately
Throw him out
put
the
up the
door.
axe. Just, don't mind me.
Oh, are you the guy that murdered someone? And I smell the blood all over you.
Hold on, let me scroll down to Talmin's notes here. Let's see what's this guy got going on in. Well, he's terrified. He just says, "What? No, leave me alone. I didn't kill anybody." He's pleading for his life on the ground. Intimidated.
That's exactly what someone who murdered a person.
He goes, "I wouldn't kill anybody. I'm a man of love, not murder." And he's just scared. He starts pissing himself.
I pick him back up and I throw him back in the room. And I say, "Well, I love doing this."
All right.
Very forceful.
All right, you shut the door. You guys are in there. These guards kind of heard something going down though, so they're kind of starting to walk up to Felix. Jerry comes up and he goes, "What was all that noise?" Is everything okay?
Felix is gonna look over and go, I think it's one of your new boys that intimidate the suspects into covering up the murder.
Oh, it's one of our guys in there beating him up.
Aye.
I had to beat up 3 guys this morning. All right, well then, I guess carry on. And walk back over there.
I grab him by the ear. I pin him to the wall,
All right.
and I just say, "Listen here. If I do with this, I'll bite your face off." Drop him
Just
on the floor,
crying.
and I leave. And as I walk in the hallway, I look at Tara, give him thumbs up.
Aye, that's so cute.
That's us. I'm going to try to like ham it up a little bit and like into the door and like throw it open real fast. Oh my gosh, man.
Dalian's
Lion?
just sitting
Beast?
there crying. His hair is a mess everywhere. He has P dribbling down with the net 20.
All right, I'm gonna stop prestidigitation and clean him up. Oh
Felix
no.
is just gonna Felix is gonna cringe a little but kindly give you might want to put this on.
He says, "Thank you." He says, "Well, who are you?" He's like still just disoriented.
We're just some passerbys not from this place. We were on a vacation, both of us, from our circus act, and we just saw that, I guess, Aetherian beast come over and pug you around a little.
It wasn't hard to overhear. He was so loud.
He just says, "No," and he goes to like embrace you, crying.
Oh, I hug him, pat his back,
He just
just prestidigitation like as much as I need to like clean him up so he's not covered in his own urine.
he sits there and collects himself and wipes his tears. He says, "Thank you so much for your kindness." He goes, "Are you trapped too?"
No, but I guess we are still on a few days of vacation until we head back over to Aelwyn.
He just
Or
looks at,
Edoria, sorry.
he just looks at you confused, and he goes, "So were you not here last night?"
No, we weren't. We had just
Actually, no.
moved, we had just gotten in.
He just looks at you even confused. He goes, "This doesn't make sense. They let you in?"
We're meeting up with him. You know how the high profile types are. They can get away.
He just goes, "Oh, well, they wouldn't let me leave ever since the murder last night. They've closed, and I don't know, they've labeled me as some sort of suspect. Now I'm trapped in their investigation. But all they've been doing is sitting by the door, playing with their swords." Typical rolls his eyes.
Hal can be heard kicking in more doors. Close in here.
Boy.
Well, do you not have any information you could provide to them? Maybe something that could get them to call this guy off?
He says, "Call what guy off? The
lion.
guard?
The scary one that was just in here?
I don't know who that is. That must be high on Kraken for all I know. Some teenager on spring break being crazy."
The cards don't seem to be stopping him. I assumed he was with them.
He says, "You must be right. That must be the private investigator. We can't trust him."
Must be.
Felix is gonna say, we.
He goes, "We're a team now. We're a team, so we can get out of here." He goes, I'm about to miss my carriage. I need to get back to Etheria City so I can finish writing my next book. I'm trapped here."
Be confused, and say, by we, do you mean me and my friend here with you, or some other folks that you along with?
He says, "Oh no, it's just sometimes I like to come out here just to get away from the old wife. He thinks I'm out on some business trip."
Oh, I see.
Oh, right. This is some dangerous levels.
If I ever went on vacation without her again, that would be the end of our marriage.
Well, yeah, I guess that if your wife finds out about it, it will be your end and our end as well because we are associated. Sorry.
Is Jin here as well? Yeah, let me move.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Jin's in the doorway. Here, I'll move his token. Oh, wrong doorway.
I just came back. I was in the wrong map. I'm sorry.
Thalion just he goes, look, this is ridiculous. I've been packed. I need to leave. Guards won't let me leave.
Why on earth would they put you as a suspect? Seems kind of harsh, isn't it?
He goes, it's because Baylor was my rival. We've had a long history of bickering and slamming each other, but it's always been with our great poetry and works. Never would I resort to physical violence. Because I'm a man of love, not a fighter. Robe, and he goes, look, and his body is just like pristine, or not all of his robe. I guess he didn't just expose himself. He just wants to shoot.
Wow.
He just wants to shoot.
That is D.
He has a beautiful body, and it's perfectly sculpted like a Greek god, and there's no cuts or wounds or anything on it at all.
Sir, you're married. Please cover yourself.
He goes, oh. Oh my God. He's been jealous of Baylor. I'm not gonna lie. His books, they've always done more in sales than I. But he's like, but honestly, competition is good. He goes, the hate I get from his fans is still, them talking about me. So it was always a positive relationship, even though I did hate his guts, his stupid sales numbers.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted him dead? I mean, obviously not you. Like you said, you're a man of words, not of
If
aggression.
you ask me, it was that other girl. What was her name? Clarissa Havelock. She was Baylor's ex. It must have been her. It's the only thing that makes him and her had a pretty public breakup not too long ago.
What is a republic?
I'm nosy and apparently have heard of these guys before. Is there a check I can make to see if I know the rumors of what went down?
Sure. Roll whatever you can justify.
History?
Yeah, maybe just a history to remember.
Sure.
Can I can I guidance myself? Because I would like to pass this.
Can you guidance yourself? You can.
Able to. I was seeking permission to.
Sure.
Hmm. 10 plus a 13.
You with Baylor, like that's familiar. You know that they have books back and forth, and you know that they had a little where they're both like written and dedicated to each other, and they were just like slam books. You know what I mean? But you don't really
Slam
recall
poetry.
But you don't really recall breakup.
They wrote dedications.
They did. It was like this dedicated to.
That's
So
so.
yeah. Thalion tells you a story about and named one of the characters Baylor and just made the character horrible and hit women and children and just terrible.
I need to read that.
It's terrible things.
Where
Can I get
can I
get
find this
copy?
book?
Can I get a copy?
He goes, sure, and he hands you a copy.
Glad I grew up battering with a sword instead of a pen.
I dropped a romance. That's the one he's talking about. But yeah, he continues the story about how he thinks that it's his ex. Now they had a big breakup. And how he wishes that the guards were more competent and could just solve the case quickly. He can get on with his business.
Well, maybe I can go talk to them for you. If they won't listen to you, maybe put in a good word or something to help prove your innocence. I would love to help.
He says, yes, of course. He's just like, I knew you were a big fan. I saw the way when I mentioned my name.
Oh, the biggest fan. Yes. Actually, as such a fan,
Well, for you and the little rat thing and the samurai guy over here with that's one arm. Of course. And he grabs a book from you. Copy of the romance novel in your inventory. I'm gonna. Where is it at? I'm gonna rename it to
Now,
signed
Hal,
copy.
Hal just walks by the room and just in with like crazy eye.
n- now it's specified that it's the author. Thank you.
All right. He's like, anything, please hurry up and help figure this out. I need to get going. I have deadlines to meet. These publishing companies, you have no idea how harsh they are.
Aye, we won't get your way. We'll hopefully be able to talk out the guards into some civilians, beg their and let their adoring author out.
He says, "All right, I'll stay here with an locked door." And he like looks around the corner. He's like looking for Hal.
It's
All right, yes, lock up behind us.
All right.
as soon as he closes and locks the door, if you look over to Terrigen, well, he could have eaten do it.
He has reasons.
I don't think he could have planned.
Yeah, he has reasons,
Anything.
but I don't think that he has the brains for that.
You know,
No.
statistically, when poison is involved, that is a woman's favored method of
Uh,
murder.
It is?
I beg your pardon. May I ask how?
Well, I am a woman.
It was you.
Felix is just gonna awkwardly look at Cheeky. Just like give him as a woman, do not say that.
Remember to know that side, and that's one hell of a warning for evading. I
I'm
guess.
gonna point over to the door over here and say, well, I believe the next person is in there.
Okay. Come here, little dude. Here, yeah.
Oh,
Is it a dude?
Oh,
Is it a guy?
oh boy.
Well,
Might be another
which,
man or
which
a woman.
room are you
We've
guys
got-
going?
This or oh wait, Valen actually already opened this one, so we might as well go in here.
As you're Valen, you walk in the room. It's like one of those scenes out of like a steamy movie where she like walks all slowly up the stairs, undressed in front of you, and grabs her rose all sexy or robe, throws it over. You know,
What the fuck?
it's like, oh, how can I help you? She's also
Oh,
seductive. And, yep.
Oh, my apologies. I was unaware this room was occupied.
She
And who
walks
might
up
you
to
be?
you, strokes your face, just goes, yeah. And she like plays with your hair and your little flirty bits.
Can I attempt to insight check to see if she's trying to play me, or if this is just like she can't resist my animal magnetism?
Yeah. Sure.
I rolled a 14 on intimidation. Am I going to scare this lady?
Oh,
I don't know. Are you gonna scare this lady? Yes.
Okay, as Valen is in here having his face stroked, in and just roars and like pushes her back in the water and is like, "Where's the body? Who did you kill? Where's the poison?"
She the water, robe and all, bobs to the top and starts screaming loudly and swimming to the others, trying to collect herself. And as she's screaming, these guards push past you and bust through the door. And they go, "What's going on?" And they draw their swords. Shink, shink. And they stand and wait. And Clarissa's just screaming in the corner. These guards turn to Hal and just kind of sitting.
I'm a bad cop with good intention. Pretty sure I was hired to do this job, so no need on your side. Wink. He actually says wink. He doesn't actually just wink.
Why don't you roll a persuasion check for me?
Oh boy.
In his head, he hears, "Hal, you're doing just an amazing job. Keep going," and create him a bardic inspiration.
You can't. All right.
Dang.
What does inspiration do?
Oh, you get to add. It's a D8.
Ooh. Okay. Come on, 8.
Well,
Yeah.
it's better than nothing.
Well,
It is.
you fail the persuasion check. They look at you, not knowing what to do, and they look at Claire over here. Calls over and he goes, "Did they hurt you?" And she just explains what happened, that Howard and ran in when her and having a moment, her new boyfriend, and the guards come over to Hal and go, "All right, buddy, that's enough. This is what we get for trusting the locals to be on official Ethereum business." And they
Hey,
and they go to
watch the fur, huh?
escort you. They go, "You're not supposed to be this
Hey.
woman's place." They bring you out.
That's and as he's leaving, that was her room. I thought that was the pool.
Or the pool,
My
that's what
gosh.
we meant. Thanks. Well, now Clarissa acting herself. She jumps back up to you. She goes, "Thanks for having my back."
I apologize. That beast's demeanor was quite unpleasant, and he'll even attempt to like hoist her out of the water, and then with a quick flick of the hand, he'll try to use prestidigitation to dry her robes, and perhaps even throw off of a smell as well. You know, complete the package.
Oh. All right. Is this prestidigitation is a spell, right?
It is a cantrip, yes.
Oh, nice. Well, you
Would you like me to
cast
quote
it. Her robes clean up all nicely, and the smell of perfume. She sniffs it, and she goes, "This is lovely. What?" Oh, she doesn't do that. She goes, "What scent is it?"
Gross.
What a lady.
This vape Axe body spray.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The question still stands. She goes, "This is fantastic perfume. What scent is this?"
Well, I believe it's a combination of lilac and gooseberries. I've heard it's all the rage with raven-haired women.
She looks and she goes, "Oh, it's an instant favorite. Thank you." And she goes to embrace you with the hug. I don't know, provocative, I guess.
I will that Valen's insight just trying to play him, or if she's actually coming on to him. Rolls a 3, so I'm going to assume she can't resist all of this goodness.
Something like that.
Oh no.
She just
Well, it's been quite horrible cooped up here. Am I right?
she goes, "It's been terrible. I never caught your name. Who are you?"
Heard of me? I am Lord Valen of House Alundir.
So when you say it, as you say, like, "Well, I'm Lord," she's like, and then you say, "Alandir," and she kind of goes, and then she goes, and she kind of shrugs her shoulders like she's into it. She goes,
I see you may have heard the nasty rumors for the capital of late. I can assure you none of them are. Our house name is as proud and strong as ever. Finest jewelers on the west coast, I might add.
"Oh, your family is into jewelry?"
Yes.
That's good. She goes, "Because I'm Clarissa Havelock of the Havelock families." Wait, who?
Blue? What?
Yeah, it just popped up a trade request from you, like I was the character Blue from our old game. That's weird.
That was weird. I was trying to bribe the guards with some money to let me go, but I was gonna wait. I was stupid.
All right. Well,
But I'll let the conversation go on. Don't. We'll deal with it later.
Clarissa introduces herself as Havelock, and being from the June is her last name, as Elven Jewelers, but not an alt elf.
Is on that note, then, is she look like she's of an alt descent, or she look like she's
She is. She is. So I didn't explain that well enough. She is in an alt elf, but she trades in Kalendor jewelry, and she tells herself. And
Oh,
yeah.
yes, I have heard of your dealings over in Kalendor. It's your family have built as well.
She goes, Calendar jewelry is so beautiful. She's like, unfortunately, the elven do not or anything but their own creation. So our jewelry, and we sell it to adult elves. To don't tell
see.
them that it's Calendar.
Well, your secret is safe with me. Speaking of secrets, do you happen to know who was killed? They didn't give me any information.
And she goes, it was Baylor. Life at the most unexpected times. It's like, I was just here on vacation, and all of a sudden, guess who walks through that door? It's Baylor. Just a few weeks after our tragic breakup, after he cheated on me. She tells you the story about how he cheated on her, and it was very tragic.
He was to be with another woman beyond you? Likely.
She's so flattered. She looks at you and she goes, you have no idea. Women throw themselves at because he writes his fancy novels about women and with them. She goes, let me tell you, those stories are fake. He's never once done any of those things to me. She rolls her eyes.
Baylor. You couldn't by chance mean Baylor Geraldine, the author of the...
She goes, of of course, the very one.
Ah, I've always found his work a bit too gaudy, if you catch my meaning. But a little less grounded.
She kind of looks at you with a dumbfounded face and she goes, do you not know?
Do I not know?
He was killed here last night. He's no longer here.
Ah, well, good riddance, right?
They say it
Terrible
was
author.
poison. She goes, surprise me if it was suicide. She kind of stands like proudly, crosses her arms.
Well, given his poor romantic choices in leaving you and the terrible writing I've seen over the years of his, perhaps he's done the world a favor. Perhaps I should shake the hand of one who may have...
She just looks and she goes, as if. She goes, that man was the most depressed person I've ever seen. She's like, one of the reasons, on top of the doubt, she goes, all he ever did was talk about offing himself, how it would make her eyes. And she goes, I bet Thalion is rolling right now. What a perfect story to tell.
He's here as well. Do you know much about that?
Well, she's like, we did get a little close the other night. That's just because we're on vacation. We're both newly single, but he's not really my type. I'm more into people with wealth. She looks at you. She's like a house island deer, and she's so sexy. What, the island deer is sexy?
Yeah, he says it sexy. How you say Island Deer sexy?
Oh,
When the came to
yeah.
work,
She goes down to your ear and she goes, "Hey, Lindy," but on the L, she like licks the little tip of your ear. It's yeah.
Yes, well, we are wealthy. I'm glad that's you know this. We definitely have no money issues here in the house Islandier. That's our saying. Right. Well, if if it wasn't, and if it perhaps wasn't Thalion, who else do you think might wish?
She goes, if you're asking my opinion, I think that he killed himself.
I see. Well, I appreciate you filling me in on the situation. It's been a little lackluster as I've been waiting to be released. Your bath. Where's the door? The door's this way. Yes, I bid you adieu. And
She goes, wait.
Yeah.
She goes, wait, and grabs your hand, and she just goes, take me with you. She goes, she goes, I don't really know quite yet, but I lost everything and spent the last of my money booking this retreat to, I don't know, start feeling myself or something again, but it didn't work, and all I found here was not very good dick from Thalion, but you're different, you're wealthy, take me with you.
Did I also mention I'm quite the powerful mage?
And you're such a powerful mage. And she like rubs your shoulders.
His ear away from the door.
That's where my magic centers are. You can accompany. Love to have your company by my side, just in case that gruff lion man comes back. I can keep you safe.
Oh, I don't know what it was all about. In the Empire, you never put your hands on a woman. Not unless you ask permission from her father first.
Yes, of course. I know our customs.
All right. She follows you out the door, wherever you go. All right. As you leave, Hal's over here trying to bright.
Try it.
What's your thought process
Yeah.
here?
Are we just standing in this corridor here?
Yep.
So I assume they've got my hands like that. I like kind of pat my chest and I'm just like, oh, you guys hear that? Oh, hear that jingle jangle? You guys want some? You guys want some gold? Huh?
Jerry looks at the
Huh?
other guy. The other guy looks at Jerry. And then they kind of have this moment where like, no, we can't. And they go, "Wow." And
Come
they go
on.
and they reach in your breast pocket and they pull out your little pouch of gold. And they go, all of it?
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
All of it?
Jerry throws it to
You
the other
have-
guy, kind of keeping it from you in the middle. He throws it back.
Hal huffs and then slowly reaches for his bag that has his 2 dusktails inside.
Jerry, he's with us. He's with us. I'm sorry, he was late. He overslept. He is investigating with documentation as well.
Over at Clarissa, and they go, "You are you okay? Do you not need us to toss this man a little bit?" And Clarissa just kind of looks at Vale, not knowing what to say or do.
We can all think we need to do anything too rash. I'm here now, so no one should come to harm.
She goes, "Oh, what a hero!" And the guards kind of go, all right." And before he hands his bag back to Hal, he reaches in and takes 10 gold pieces for himself and throws the bag back to Hal.
Yeah. Hal puts the bag back in, looking sad, but there's a twinkle in his eye. And he actually winks at Felix because they hardly any of his money.
All right, well,
You feels.
just being lazy and causing a ruckus and not job at all without catching the murderer. He kind of roll down there and are dicking around.
I was gonna give them 20 gold. No.
Yeah, 10 didn't feel too bad, all things considered.
Clarissa
All
kind of
right.
looks
Way worse.
scared, and she turns to Valen and whispers in his ear, and she goes, "Ask him why he ran in and pushed me in the water."
That's a fair question. You definitely need some answers. You there, Lion Man. May I ask why you decided to burst through into her private bathing quarters and get so handsy?
He looks her up and down and then looks at Valen and his tail like kind of squishes and then rubs Valen's face and he's like, I just didn't like you touching my handsome friend.
She goes and looks, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were by."
Oh,
That's okay. I'm
no.
kind of into.
What? Oh,
Oh,
Hal
like, "Hey,
becomes
I
very
don't-
uncomfortable.
I don't judge. She's,
I haven't decided on Valen's sexuality, and that's just going to remain an enigma for right now. But
so adventurous. She's
actually, I'm an adventurer. Powerful magics I mentioned before serves me quite well in that line of quite profitable as well. So have you guards, investigators? Have you figured out who's murdered D-bag Baylor yet?
You're asking the guards.
Shit.
You're shouting down. The hallway?
No, the group
Oh,
that he is pretending to not be associated with.
I think I've got one more person to scare.
please don't.
No, this is working well.
Right.
Uh,
Please do.
And then as he walks past her, he's like, "Evening."
She just kind of grabs Valen's arm, but kind of gives you like side eye.
Oh boy. Well, this was going to be my intimidation check for going into this,
All right.
carrying this last. Come on, bad DM roll.
All right. Well, why don't you just bust in and see what happens, I guess, huh?
So Cal busts in, and at a full sprint, just runs down the hall and jumps onto this table and kicks off the wall and then lands and then runs in front of this guy. And he's like, "Argh!" and then just sits down.
And he just sits up and he claps like he's so enthralled. He just goes, "Oh, I love resort. They always have the best entertainment. Oh, this is great." And he sits back down and he's just like laser focused on you.
And so then Hal kind of glares at him and then does this bad boy towards Paul.
He's going to saving throw. Okay. He does not pass, I don't think. No, definitely does not. All right. What happens to him? He becomes.
Yes.
All right. You roar. It's loud and thunderous, and he's terrified. And as you kind of like come to an end on your roar, almost like the feeling you get when you like ride a roller coaster, he goes, "Wow, that was so cool!" And he starts clapping again.
And crosses his legs and just looks towards these flowers and just goes,
And it goes, "Are you gonna like turn them into rabbits, or are you gonna do the little thing where you're in a box and can't escape?" I love that one.
Hal, being the barbarian that he's,
Jean will
throws
whisper.
one of his hand axes next to Henry.
Jean will whisper to Terra. Are you sure that this is working?
Okay. Well, you throw it and it doesn't hit him.
Then Hal gets up, grabs it, and
He stares at like the holy this couch or piece of furniture or whatever. Shocked. He just like doesn't understand.
and then Hal looks at him from this couch and says, like mouths, "I know you murdered."
Henry just rolls his eyes. He just goes, Who are you? You're not an entertainer." He stands up, kind of starts going to walk out.
And plays his bagpipes.
Okay. Not very well.
Of course not.
Just playing basic notes. He just rolls his eyes and he looks at the elf. He comes down and he just goes, Who are you?"
I am Vader. Clarissa's joining me as she's draping over him. This is the prestigious Clarissa Halleck. We've both trapped here as you are until they can solve this investigation. We're hoping to find out who may be responsible for this possible murder, so we can all go home.
Henry Eran. Henry Eran introduces himself as a trading merchant from Adoria. He goes to shake your hand and he's like, "I don't understand elf customs." And he sticks out his hand to take some, I don't know, human handshaking gesture.
So just a handshake.
Sure. Can't to like I'm sure elves and then dwarves do something. He does whatever the humans do, you know? Like a little dap. Something like that.
He'll very like weakly hold out a hand to do whatever it is he's trying to do. Seeing this is a human,
Yeah. You guys like awkwardly make this confrontation where neither of you know how to like handshake. I just end up kind of rubbing your hands on each other. And he goes back. He goes, sorry, I don't deal with a lot of elves.
I think upon hearing the Tara kind of gets an image that things have not gone the way that she expected them to go in that room, and comes to join. But as I pass Clarissa, I want to kind of not stop, but just just briefly pause and just. You are absolutely stunning, positively glowing. You must tell me your skincare routine later, and with just like a little wink.
She just blushes and she goes, "You people are so nice." On cloud 9. Henry turns and he goes, well, I'm going to tell you like I told the other guards. He's like, it obviously wasn't me. He goes, I don't have the hands of a killer. Merchant. He holds them out and they're all splintery from like wood boxes and stuff.
To be fair, swords also sometimes, so clearly that doesn't keep you safe.
He goes, it would be like you elves to use wooden swords.
Well, your lineage as a human, you would be using the wooden swords.
Oh, you're right. No, now that you've explained it a second time, that actually starting to make a lot of sense.
I'm glad we're on the same page here. Well, look, as far as I'm aware, besides my and Clarissa, the only other one here is Thalion, in this murder, so it leaves only you.
And you trust them? And he looks at Clarissa and he goes, he died by poison. That's a woman's thing. He like looks at Clarissa.
See, I
look at
told
her.
you.
I look at her. Oh, it seems that you were right after all.
Why are you surprised that I was correct?
Nothing.
Yeah, maybe let's not answer that. Never mind.
We have to ask then.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Iran. He goes, I am
Enron.
Enron. No, Iran. I don't know, something like that. Rare spices and herbs. He's like, I usually do business with Winston, and he usually hooks it up pretty good. Not only pay me, but he gives me a few nights at the. I give him a good
So you're
deal.
saying various plants, some of which could be used in the alchemical process to create poison?
And he goes, look, I'm no alchemist, okay? I don't know how to mix potions or herbs or perfumes. I can barely even mix ice into my water. He's like, but I'll tell you what I can do is pick up boxes and deliver them to people. That's what I'm good at.
To help us clear your name of this, would you be willing to share what the most recent delivery or trade to Winston consisted of?
He looks and he goes, it was a bunch of rare spices and herbs from Adoria. He's like,
Before the murder?
he just goes, look, guys, I just deal in the merchant of it. I don't really know exactly what specific. You know, it was probably some Adorian gray weed and probably some adult flower, some stuff like that.
Hearing these names, Hal comes back in. He's like, "Look, Theodora from the ancestral forest.
Ah,
Tell me, does it
same.
still smell of cedar and moss?"
Of course. It's the best.
Hal wistfully breathes deeply and then just goes and sits on this couch.
Well, there. Can Felix approach Jerry?
Okay.
Felix will just like gently chug his like shoulder, his Aetherian shoulder cape gently to get his attention. And just say, "Your pardon, Jerry. That do you know which room exactly the man was murdered in?"
Harry and them are still dicking around, little game or whatever they're playing, and do business. And he just says,
Sorry.
they were murdered in the hot pool room, the hot mineral pool room. It's at the very north of the building, just past the rooms in the lounge area.
Thank you. And do you know which?
He goes, I don't. They were murdered outside of a pool.
Oh.
Remains clear and good.
He starts nodding. He goes, okay. Thank you. I'll be right back. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, boys. And he's gonna immediately just like sprint over and start heading over to these guards and ask, "May I go into the mineral pools room, please?"
The guards are sitting there, just going, all right, let's let you in.
Right. Guys, I have an idea. Is there any evidence of where the body once was?
Thalion, or not Thalion, who is this thief?
Oh,
He runs in with you as well. He's still here. He's just nice and quiet in the background, like a good companion should be. All right. Across the hall behind you, he just like, you guys are in the middle of talking to Henry. Also, you just hear his little feet. So you hear him say like, "I've got you." Just keep on running.
Is Felix able to find like the body's clearly not here, but is there like signs of where the body might have been? Like, is there any blood or anything like that?
Not really. You can go ahead and try to inspect
when in
the
doubt, my
room
young
if you
friend,
Well,
use your
first of all,
nose.
That's
well,
what. Damn
well,
it! You spoiled
so-
it. That's what Felix was gonna do.
well, first of all, if he died by poison, he would not have bleed.
I want to use a perception check with advantage with Felix's nose to see if there's any smell of poison.
Okay.
All right, come on, buddy. 19.
You're looking for
Nice.
smell of poison specifically?
Yes.
So you take a sniff around the room and you see a scent permeating from his bag and in the broken, I don't forget if it was broken or not, but the little bottle of poison that they found. And then you kind of use that and you start sniffing around the room and you kind of find that somewhere over in the area, you smell that.
Over to where the trace left there or a clue.
It doesn't really look like anything's wrong. You notice some towels and they're kind of like thrown over the floor like they weren't picked, but no immediate blood or anything that you can see just upon your passive perception.
He did, and he's gonna start sniffing. Can he trail the poison to see if it's on anyone besides Valen in the bag?
Sure. Why don't
All right. Do I need to roll another time?
I would. Yes.
Come on, buddy. 12.
Let's find out. Oof. So you sniff around and the poison, you smell it, and of all of your friends and people standing in this room, including Clarissa, you do not smell the poison. You smell that it is coming from somewhere outside of the room.
Can I follow it?
Sure.
All right. Felix is gonna just start slowly, following the step by step.
Theo looks down and goes, "What is it? What is?"
He's not a dog.
Give me a sec. Don't. I'm on to something.
As Felix passes, I'm just going to lightly touch his shoulder and offer him guidance as well,
Thank you.
just to help you find your way.
He keeps trying to follow the trail and see if it led outside, right?
It did lead outside.
Okay, so outside the room, and now he's outside the room. Any other place that it seems to be tracking, or does it go faint?
Well, as you pass through the door, the scent kind of fades. You might have to act a roll to see if you keep following it.
Sure. I will smell-based perception check. 16.
Oh, that's probably, I don't know. We'll see.
You can throw guidance on there to make it even better too.
I'll check.
17.
And you were right here outside of the door, and what you could smell is that the smell was away than where you or these first immediate doors sit.
Something of the huge in it is stronger and last person who used it, it's still on their hands. It would be where they last were, the things that they've touched. I'm gonna enter the pool room and see if it's...
All right. You know the drill.
Alright. Shit. 11. Damn it.
So you walk into the room, and as you open the door, just you're like in scent mode. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. And you open the door, and you're just overwhelmed with the amount of just like perfume and just all the good soaps and stuff that it kind of ruins your sense of smell. And you lose
No.
a scent.
I lost it.
Perhaps it head towards Thalion's room.
Maybe I could give it another shot and see if it comes from that direction. He'll try again. 16.
All right. When you walk back out in the room and you try to sniff again with your little... Unfortunately, you've exhausted your little sniffer sniffs. And you can't pick up the scent any longer.
Then nothing's there. I'm so sorry. I thought I had it, and I thought I had an idea. I just...
Well, it
How-
might have ruled out, at least. You ran right past Clarissa and Henry.
Yeah, we have to follow that narrows or quite a bit.
It's like, well, time for my sniffer. And gives it a good. Yeah.
Yeah, perception.
That's what feel perception.
Yeah, but does it...
Felix
Oh.
has a Q, so he actually has...
Well, I mean, okay. Okay, Hal. Well,
I mean, scent, smell.
they
what
do
are they called?
not.
Noses?
They do not have very good nose.
As a biologist, I say they do not. They rely mostly on sight to hunt.
Around Hal, and you pick up a scent, and it's and you think it's something, and you follow it, and it winds you right here of some incense that are burning.
And
The
just
incense?
FY.
Are you saying that the incense killed?
Please don't start. All right.
Hal smells it and he's like, I think it's a lamplighter. Is there a lamplighter here?
All right, gang.
Yeah, well, I guess this going off my smell and hunch could be them. But would they use poison? Have the guards even looked in his room and found anything like that?
They may not have, but we certainly can have a second look now that we perhaps know more what we're looking for. But clearly, the smell wasn't on my good Clarissa here, as they were in the room with us when you began your scenting. So clearly,
Remind
she's
me
on.
again. Remind me again. Why are you running around with one of the supposed defendants in this case, Mr. Bailey?
Wanting to ensure that respect, and after a thorough investigation, I have found that she is definitely innocent. In fact, she believes that Velo may have killed himself. Apparently, he was quite depressed.
You find him to bring her around.
Well, there are some. There's a murderer around, so she needs action. And who better than one as skilled as myself?
She just sinks into
The
your
great,
arms.
the great Veiling from House Evandir. Yeah, right. Twitch the run, I guess.
She just bats her eyes at Valen.
Puffs out his chest a little bit.
Yeah, from my memory, because I don't have a notated, is found, or that we were given alongside the note and the bottle of. Like, is it like?
Valen has it, and you guys can always investigate. If you just want to roll it in chat, Felix.
Investigation.
Actual box of lists so they can see what's going on. And if Tara's investigating it, it would be her rolling investigation, I suppose.
Yeah, I would love to just investigate the necklace and give it a once over and see anything, just engraved or inset or something just to distinguish it from another piece of jewelry. And I will guidance myself for a little extra help,
All right.
as this is not my forte.
All right. So you can see about the make of the necklace.
Yeah.
Okay. So you look at the necklace and you kind of turn it over in your hands, and you are, I'm assuming, somewhat familiar with jewelry, just being from a jewel trade.
My father's whole business in Bree and the different stones and all that good stuff.
So because of this knowledge, you look down and you immediately recognize that it is Calendor. It is in the very specific style of Calendor. You look around to see if there's anything engraved. There's not. It's just a standard. Such a shame it's broken.
Well,
Interesting.
I have a question on that. Actually, does it looks like expensive?
Does it look expensive? I mean, yeah, it does. It looks like a nice jewelry.
Perhaps those of us who are helping with this investigation go over our thoughts and findings and how we are going to clear names of those unfortunate.
Let's meet over in the main lobby, somewhere a little bit more quiet.
I think we can't leave
Maybe
here.
we
Maybe
can use
one
one
of
of
the
the
other.
rooms.
Yes, I think that would
Maybe
be.
we should meet in the pool. We'd all take a little soap. We play a little chicken. Cannonball
Let's
contest.
just go, Hal.
Let's just end this
Fine.
investigation so we can't live here any much longer.
Out.
Theo stands at the door and he goes, "I'll make sure no one comes in."
That's
thank you,
perfect. Thank
Theo.
you.
Clarissa's still hanging on your arm.
He's gonna lead her into the room with them. See what
See,
happens.
goes on there.
Felix is just gonna raise an eyebrow at you, Valen.
Unfortunately, she does not have. And I show my palm with the brand on it. The documentation to join this conversation. Clarissa, if you wouldn't mind,
mean-
perhaps heading back to the bath. Valen, like right in the eyes.
And she goes and like pulls your arm and starts leaving her.
Who am I to judge?
Well, perhaps after we've caught the marine check, the sooner we come to investigation, I think the sooner that we can be at liberty to do whatever we want. Tend to you.
She just kind of sighs and she just goes, "I'll miss you." And she walks out the door.
He just kind of
Choosing
mouths
her.
after her. I miss you too.
Theo shuts the door.
Well,
Well,
who did it?
Clarissa, definitely.
Believe now that it's a Thalion from where we're going. However, it was pointed in two different directions, and I hate to say, Valen, but Clarissa is getting a little bit too close to you.
Well, I mean, can you blame her?
No, but I can certainly blame you, lad.
If
Well-
I may, I have. Well, I do feel like Clarissa's not off the hook, and I set the necklace kind of down on the bed. If I'm not mistaken, dealing with a very particular jewelry, of which this is. It's a very fine calendar.
she be selfish enough to leave evidence of herself on the crime scene of the murder?
Well, that leads to my second suspicion and why I said she's not ruled out entirely yet. I think it's Winston. I think it's him. I think he planted the necklace. I think he does potions, so why not poisons? I think it was him. He's an up and coming novelist himself. Got his shipment made
And that
framed.
that would also mean that you would have less to compete with in, I guess, the novelist circle.
That's a bold accusation, I would say. I mean, just because he trades herbs, it does not mean that he would kill someone.
Well, there was a tear in his robes that he was at first reluctant to have Terra mend. You don't suppose that's a sign of struggle?
It's exactly the way he behaves. I don't believe he would be running around doing
But
heavy labor.
if the victim was killed by poison, why or physical combat?
I'm so sorry, Jen. I didn't catch that.
If the victim died by poison, as happened, why there should be, signs of struggle? Combat.
Well, it's Potter. It was rather, and in a combat with them, he slipped him a drink, and as he was realizing he was dying, he could have reached out knowingly to kill her before death. I don't know. We don't really have solid proof of.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Felix will show the murder evidence again and say, "Poison. Do we know what kind of poison it is? Is it one that you need to take a drink of or have in your body for it to work, or is it one of those dangerous poisons where it just needs to touch you?" It's a mixing of things like these.
Me neither.
I mean, I've myself dabbled in some alchemy at the academy, but it's been a while now, and poisons in particular were not my specialty either. I'm not sure I would be able to really tell you. We can assume, if we can see the body, contact poison around the point of contact. Otherwise, I assume...
or we can throw some of the poison on Half and see how it reacts.
I don't think so.
Let's
Nothing.
not do that, Shinji. But even the greatest poisons take down a strong man.
I could take it. I mean, if I want to.
What if I just try to identify?
He'll
Will-
show the...
We can test it. We can leave that as option playable.
Felix will offer the bottle of poison to Terra to identify.
So, DM, on
Yes.
a technicality, do I need to decide, or can I do that with it just in the bottle?
No, you can just do it on the whole.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you
I
actually
will
didn't
just.
pass your check because you had the cap on.
Well,
That's why
there
we
are
ask
some
things
DMs.
in this house.
Okay,
Oh,
there
I
are
know.
some.
Oh, I know.
So I also have
Nice,
mage
it's
hand,
not
so
one
I
of
could have just at a distance. We'll just identify.
He learns properties or how to use them. If it is a magic item or some magic imbued object, you learn its properties. So you're just looking to see if it's any magical at all?
Yeah, if it's magic, I
There's
learn
any
whether any
spells or
spells are
something.
affecting it, and if the item was created by a spell. Yeah, it's really just to kind of double check.
So you cast Identify, and you don't feel any sort of magical pulse or residue or energy coming from the bottle.
Okay.
It's just good old-fashioned brewed poison.
Felix is going to worriedly look over to Hallow.
Fine, you can test it on me.
And he just puts the poison bottle down.
Please don't.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see one thing. and he reaches into his bag, and he pulls out his pouch with the dusk tails inside, and he opens it, and he's like, "Will you guys ever love me?"
And
And
they
you
look
make
up at you
I-
lovingly, and then
yes.
they just go all aggro again and shout, and you like shut the bag.
It's,
yeah, I make a perception check to see if they'll ever love me. And
Doesn't look like.
doesn't look like it. So he with a tear in his eye dumps them into the room and says, "Poison them." And then he rolls and buries and starts crying as the two dusk tails run around the room.
Face. Not on the face.
They're just running around. They're just hiding. They've overturned the
much is
sheets and
left?
stuff.
How much of the poison is even?
Not hardly. If there is
Okay,
any,
it's
it's just like
mostly- okay.
residue. Yeah.
Just check, because I'm like, is it like a full bottle that we're assuming was actually what was used?
No, it's pretty much an empty bottle. If there's probably a little bit of residue at the bottom of it, but
I.
Yep.
Did you receive the body? Like the body of the victim?
no, you didn't see the body.
Can we?
The guards took the body out last night. They've already buried him.
Sure. We have these evidence, and that's how. Whoa. Actually, I have another question now. I did not spend all those years playing Ace Attorney for nothing. Do we have an autopsy?
An autopsy?
Yeah.
I mean, about as good as the Ethereum guards could give it to you to death. From the bottle that they gave.
Right.
So what if we go and search Thalion's room, right? And we'll just make sure. And then do we know where Winston stays? Perhaps we can just double check his room as well, if nothing but to rule him out and alleviate my concerns.
So we're not going to poison Wilma and Betty.
Not to.
that's not.
Hal crawls under the bed and retrieves his musket.
They give you a struggle, but after chunks of fur, you got him back in there.
Perfect. So since we're not going to, what if we put some wine in this little, and we offered it as a drink, everybody, and then we tell them right before they drink it that it's the poison vial.
I don't think we should be trying to poison anybody.
And why?
No witnesses,
Well,
no suspects.
maybe the person who has an immunity to the poison. I
And
once read a story about a man in black who built up a poison tolerance to iodine powder, and then he tricked another guy from another place to drink it, and that guy died, but the one guy was safe because people build I don't know, just spitballing here.
Never heard of a story like that before.
and of everyone here involved. That's not the best of the plans.
It's just now we look at Stin's room and also we look at Thalion's. If we can get the guard to get them out of their room so that we can investigate.
Okay. It'll be easy. Make him leave.
Aye,
Well,
aye.
Well, actually, I can raise my voice and gain access to all the building if we need. At least I think so.
Very.
Out of curiosity, have we thought yet to investigate the body itself? Have we even seen the body itself?
I
I
made
believe the guard
these
said that they
questions.
had already buried it. So whoever this must have made sure that they cleaned it up quick.
And most important, the autopsy say that it was death by poison. So I think that there was not a struggle, not a physical combat. It was just straight and plain poisoning.
Theo knocks on the door and just says, "Are you guys done in there?"
Wait, one last thing. Can Felix take the poison bottle and try to smell if someone's scent is on it?
Ooh,
Sure.
I know that. Here,
yeah,
I'll at
yeah,
least give it a
but
shot.
like the bottle was passed like hand to hand between a lot of people.
Oh, true. We contaminated it. Fuck.
I was gonna
But
let
that
him do it.
It wouldn't hurt to do Bliss. 19.
Oh, that was close. One more, and I might have let you done it. No, you sniff the bottle and you smell all of your best friends, a few of the guards, pretty much everybody.
That was no one else. Sorry.
We could always have everyone write something down and analyze the handwriting against the note.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
That's a pretty good. Right. Yeah, definitely.
I do still think we should search rooms, but the handwriting
Yeah.
might at least help.
Search rooms first, and then we do the randomizing thing.
If we find
Right,
answers,
no.
because there may
Sure.
not be anything
Yeah.
left.
Right,
So let's head to the other rooms.
right then. Let's.
Cleared out the other guests who are here because of this.
Yep, and they won't let these three that they've determined are suspects leave until they've solved the murder. But they're not solving the murder. They're taking their time and just being not helpful.
Just being
Yeah, exactly. You guys come
I
out
like
of
to
the
imagine
room.
my dad is somewhere in town throwing a temper tantrum because he had wanted to stay here.
And they go, "Did you find anything in Baylor's room?"
What evidence?
Well, we definitely didn't let tails loose in there.
What evidence was in there? Because you were supposed to have, with all of the evidence that you found.
Well, that's just the evidence that we found. We haven't really gone back and done a second sweep of the room yet. We were waiting for a little bit later to do that.
Okay. Can you tell me these rooms belong to?
I don't know. They're just other guest rooms. We know this one is Clarissa's. We know this one is, who's the other guy? Henry. This one's Thalion.
Henry.
Mhm.
And the other two are just other guests' rooms.
right.
Unimportant guests.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Unnamed. Here. Is this like a nightstand?
It is. It is on its side, on the floor, though. Blankets are everywhere.
From the dust grab. It would have been helpful if they told us this ahead of time. I don't feel like there's a lot to salvage in here now.
Wait.
Search the other rooms then.
Right.
Where are you going to? Room?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to, but I'll like check the drawer.
Check that nightstand drawer, and as soon as I can scroll down to it. Perfume and 2 trousers.
This man packed well.
The perfume is strange, right?
Did you want it? In your inventory?
What does it smell like?
It's with like a hint of misty sea and like icebergs and Himalayan salts with a touch of some sort of nut as well.
Yeah, I'll pocket the perfume. And is there a woman? Are they both men's? Are they his?
I mean, it's up for interpretation. Yeah.
Not my style.
Here, I'll give you a perfume. All right. Did you want to get a closer perception look or something? Or?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm checking like under the pillow, under the bed, just trying to see if there's anything that got left behind or seems out of place.
Why don't you roll me a perception check. But go ahead and do it with disadvantage since the room is torn apart.
That's fair.
And I offer the help action to have her roll. No, never mind.
No, it was terrible.
So yeah, you look around, you don't really notice anything. It's just the same old room that you were in before.
Is there a chance that Valen can also assist in the investigation of the room? Kind of
Sure.
checking to see stuff?
Same thing, disadvantage definitely can.
To be a perception check.
No, whatever you can justify.
Okay. Oh, well,
You know what?
Valen also learns nothing.
No, you know what? You know what? No, screw it.
All right.
oh,
You can do it again with bountiful luck.
okay. Do I roll again disadvantage, or I re-roll the die to hit a 1?
I'll just reroll again with disadvantage.
God,
Yo.
For mine.
We're not
Oh.
supposed to find anything in here, guys. This is the dice are telling a story. That's 2 nat ones. That's not right outside of the store. We're doing our best to rule your name out as quickly as possible. I promise.
Hal walks past.
She kind of wakes and gets scared and runs off, but then sees Valen emerge and just latches onto his shoulder.
but where I am still here.
She's I'm so
Sorry, trying to
worried.
slip
and
into her.
brushes your hair. Our room because she's so infatuated with Valen. Alright.
Hal, you want to help me have a better look of this one? Maybe there's a loose floorboards you can find.
Okay.
Can I offer that as like I'm helping him look this time since I had in the previous room?
Well, explain that to me. You say what? I'm sorry.
Can I help him? I
you-
wanted to give him advantage.
Well, I mean, you can just look
Oh.
yourself as well. Hal looks around the room, but does not find anything.
Pretty standard room.
I'm gonna
Right.
guidance
I
myself.
right. I think we can ask Vin to ask
Yep.
Clarissa to show her home to him. And while we deal with the other rooms.
Tara
here.
also doesn't find anything. Although
I'm
you
gonna rummage in a nightstand though.
rummage in her nightstand, and we find and some more perfume, some lady trousers. Let me see. I forget what the jewelry box. There it is. All right, sea stone ring. This sea stone ring, you pick it up though, and you notice it is also built like very, very different style than the other calendar ring you saw.
Okay. Just for funsies, does the perfume in her room smell?
It does not.
Well,
I'm not taking anything. I was just snooping.
You're
So,
not going to take the
everything
sea
goes-
stone ring?
I'm not stealing her jewelry. Tara has her own jewelry.
All right, you put the ring back.
I put the ring back. Just snooping, not stealing.
Hal hears you say that and just like takes stuff out of his pockets.
I said I'm not stealing. I wasn't speaking for. I can pretend I saw nothing. Go under the beds, make sure nothing's fallen or been shoved out of sight.
All right.
Stone, no pillow, no
Nothing immediate
Okay.
unless you want to take a deeper look with your perception.
I mean, it's been working great so far. Why not? Eventually, I'll roll well. One day.
God damn.
That's funny. All right, nope, nothing quite out of place.
No,
Little
nothing.
jewelry bit that you learned.
just poke my head out, make sure she's not, and then
Her and Valen are just over there.
perfect.
Alright then, next room.
Yeah, Felix, I am not having luck searching these rooms. Perhaps this time.
I can give it a good once over. Hey!
Oh,
He
thank
wasn't
you.
kidding.
Nice.
Felix, you're rolling.
It's-
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Keep looking around while I.
Tara repeats.
No,
Her
it's not.
snooping.
It's not improvised. It's look through the notes.
Yeah, let me just find where I wrote real quick. Hold on.
Hang on, I wrote that down. I wrote that down.
Definitely.
I'm still improvising. You guys, you guys do what you got.
No, it's okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Wow. Two men and a dog walks into a bar. I will have a bear. And the dog says, I will open this one.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Oh, in the meantime, I will tell them about the styling, I guess.
Oh, in the ring.
The ring.
But they were all of them deceived.
All right, you guys are around. Tara finds tucked under Henry's pillow a little note. What we shall. Hold on, it's still. This might or might not work in the expected way. So
All good. All good.
we'll see. See how this works out. Okay. You find a note, and the note says that. If one of you wants to read that out loud.
Dear
Um,
Henry, I trust this note well. As per our previous discussions, I've shipment of rare supplies from Midoriya, which should be among these. You will find several items of notable interest for our ongoing projects and for the market. Inventory list involves an arcane crystal. Handle it with care. They are volatile, mishandled. A silver leaf herbs, 20 bundles worth. A staple in healing potions. Ensure that they are stored in a cool place to preserve their specimens of glowing mushrooms for the alchemists. Seem to thrive in the dark, suggesting upon arrival, there is a specimen of the deepest parts of the Adorian forests. Its properties are multifaceted, capable of being processed into perfect ears, thus necessitating its discretion. Special instructions for the violet night flower. Handle this item with the utmost care. Its specimen remains off the books for reasons we've previously discussed. The fewer who know of its existence, the better. I trust you understand the delicacy of the situation. Upon its arrival, secure shade and requires minimal water. Please ensure that all items, especially the violet night flower, are accounted for upon receipt from this shipment. Your decisions are paramount. I look forward to your confirmation of arrival of these items. Let's proceed with caution and ensure endeavors continue to flourish under our warm regards. Weston.
Shady as fuck.
Felix is just going to put the note down and say, I understood.
And the room
So
is speechless.
This violet night flower, perhaps it can be used as a poison as well. Yes.
Yes. Do you know anything about arcane crystals? Do you know anything about arcane crystals? And close the door. Don't let.
Oh,
She's so
she's
offended
fine.
that you said that. She goes,
Arcane crystals there, DM?
you would know about arcangels.
I know about them.
I don't know. You're the one that knows about them. What do you know about arcane crystals?
Yes, I am familiar with arcane crystals. we used to use them as they are essential for the research in the arcane. We should handle them with care as they can be volatile if mishandled.
Thank you for confirming.
I can handle them quite well, of course, with my practiced hands and magical abilities, but
Thank you.
those unskilled should seek stronger minds.
Right. What happens if we combine arcane crystals with a violet night flower?
Well, if I had to take a guess, it would certainly infuse magic into some kind of potion, but I believe Terra already ruled out the potion's magical capabilities. I believe it's a relatively mundane potion, albeit potent.
Oh, right. Exactly. Thank you for reminding that. But what happens if we combine a violet night flower and silver leaf herbs? That is healing, but, well, you never know.
Yeah, it could be a healing potion.
Possible.
Mm.
I've heard it is possible to draft a potion that resembles that of a healing potion, but in truth, it's a poison. It is a thing that can be brewed. I suppose to know for certain if this is the weapon of choice, we need to figure out if this flower is still amongst Henry's shipment.
I, I suppose we do.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can head ask him.
If you do, be careful now. Can do much against
know-
him, but
She goes where you go.
Man,
Oh, it's the elf again. He looks at her, he goes, elves.
it's pronounced elves with a V. Perhaps you should return to school. Second, we must ask you expensive shipment of various materials, including arcane crystals, silver leaf herbs, and something else, something a bit more what I speak of.
You just see his eyebrow kind of raise. You have no idea.
Insight check. Do I believe you?
God damn it.
Him, his posture is very well composed. He doesn't look like he's very phased by this.
So you don't know of a violet night flower being among your supply?
And he kind
Interesting.
of just scoffs and says, and what does an elf know of the violet?
Well, I do know that it should be secured in a secluded area away from prying eyes, and that
Ooh.
it can be quite dangerous if not mixed properly.
He just kind of looks, hey man, listen, you can't tell anybody about this. He's like, I got instructions from Winston that said that he needed to keep this one off the book. The Talmin version of the FDA has just announced that not only is that flower used for sweet fumes and herbs, but it's also deadly if consumed in large enough doses. So I'm sure he just didn't want people to know he's using it, cutting corners and all that, like do.
I'm going to let that slide for now. Where is your shipment? Where is this flower?
He said I delivered it to the lot to Winston last night, and then after that I left. I don't know where he's taken it.
I see. Though I am inclined to believe you to be the guilty sort with your blunt ears and dumb brain, I must admit, I feel like you, among Clarissa and the others, being set up to take the fall for Winston's own murder.
And he looks and he goes, "Hey, did poetry at my wife."
It was the other one.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No.
Talmin.
Me, I've always given him fair prices. As far as you ask me, I don't think that Winston could have done it. He looked back at Clarissa, and he's like, you've heard what I said. Who I believe is the real murderer. And he walks back.
He refuses to believe that the rare deadly flower he just delivered to Winston, who was asked to keep off the books, that could have killed Baylor, couldn't be Winston's doing.
She goes, "Oh, I know. I just absolutely hate humans. It's like even after a bath, you can still smell the gunk on them."
Yes, well, I've learned that they're not all bad, but clearly this Henry, whatever his name is, clearly the low crop. Perhaps we should get others and let them in on the information we've discovered.
She just rolls her eyes. All the other races, we won't. All right.
Well, only somewhat useful. He did admit to the presence of the Violet Night Flower in his shipment and acknowledged that Winston had him for his discretion. He doesn't believe that the calendar for the murder, as he often gets cheap accommodations here at the resort. But as far as we know, the supply was delivered to him quite recently, hasn't it? So the flower is in Winston's possession.
It is awfully suspicious.
Yeah,
So
that's
the only one that could have poisoned them would have been Winston themselves.
That's lead us to another question. And yeah, when did the murder take place?
Last night.
Last night, right? Yeah, he could have time to take the flower. Its properties make a poison.
Have we seen any signs of a cellar or storeroom or anything like that?
If you're asking me, no. Not quite. This is pretty much the only map I've made, but if you guys want to look for a cellar or something, I'm sure that this could probably be justified as a door.
Sure. We might as well go over there and investigate.
So you guys walk over and you see a gate leading down like a spiral staircase.
Over here, there's a gate. I fancy none of you are good at picking locks.
No, but I can bring it down.
I've been known to smash a few.
Do we want Winston knowing that we're smashing down this place?
Do we have any choice?
Should we be blatantly doing this in front of the guard?
They're just at the
That
end of the
too.
hall staring at you.
Maybe we could ask the guard to break it down. Say that the murderer's down there or something.
Possibly, if they're willing to listen to us.
Yeah. Right, I will talk to the guards. Question: Is it
Jerry
a cellar?
just looks at you and he goes, "That door down there?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, we haven't made our way down there quite yet." And he starts playing out and takes out one of the keys, like, "This should be it." He throws it to you and immediately turns his back and starts dicking around with his buddy.
That was strange and easy. Here's the key.
All right, you use the key and you unlock the gate. And I suppose you spiral down a staircase into a damp and storeroom. You guys see it's pretty much just a large open basement space with crates lining the walls and in the middle.
I think I want to look for. So I guess not knowing exactly how the flower is used in the potion, if it or the poison, if it's like the whole flower is consumed or just, part of it, or, so either looking for the flower or remnants that it was here and no longer here.
Well, the flower is called Violet Night. Night Violet. So yeah, looking for a violet could bring in with it.
Sure. You guys start picking and prodding through boxes, but boxes, it's just things like, soaps and pillow things that you would find in the storeroom of at least upon your first glance with your passive perception.
Is there any sign of the glowing mushrooms, since it does specifically say thrive in the dark and suggest placing them in the cellar?
Yeah, over in the corner you see like a little crate and it's kind of overflowing with some of these glowing mushrooms.
Okay.
Right.
So at least we know parts of the
Yeah,
shipment made it
Part of
down
the
here.
shipment, yeah.
Well, if he...
But
Oh, go ahead.
but given the flower is delicate, I don't think that they will bring it down here. It's just a cellar.
Well, it does need partial shade, based on there's away from prying eyes.
Search deeper, rates, everything.
You
Cellar.
guys want to give me a perception check through the crates a little more intricately?
Investigation check instead.
Oh man.
Hey, how?
Nice.
All right, let's tally all of that up real quick, okay? So Valen is, or wait, no, where did we do it? Where did it start from? Tara's perception?
Yeah, you can ignore
Yeah,
mine.
Here, well, no, let's add it all up.
10,
So,
16, 17, 18.
So how many of you are there? 5. Ooh, you guys smoked me. All right, so you guys start looking around and digging through chests, and as Felix is digging through one of those chests, his little nose catches a familiar scent, and he picks through the bottom of the crate and he ends a flower that's missing a box sack tied up tightly. This crate way in the back.
It smells like the poison. I found it. Look, and he'll offer it to everybody.
And it's a flower, and it's violet.
Right.
Partially used, as we can see, its petals.
And is that? I suppose we can fairly make the call now, right?
I mean, is half of a flower enough to make a poison?
I mean, depending on its potency.
Eat one of the petals and find out.
DM.
Just see what happens.
None of us are
Job for
none of us are
highlight.
monks.
Can't be that bad. It's just a little poison.
Well, we've found the proposed murder weapon, if you'd call it that. And any good investigation, in order to nail down a perp, you need to have a motive as well as the opportunity as well. Have we come up with a motive strong enough to resort to murder yet?
Motive is the part that's gonna stump us, unfortunately. We wouldn't know why Winston would want to do that.
Is Clarissa with us?
No.
She's at the top of the stairs because she doesn't want to go down into the cellar. That kind of thing is beneath.
She's a
All right, guys. You've stuck across the flower. Was there anything else that you would like to do or look at or take care of while you're in this cellar?
Well, actually, if the mushrooms are here and the flower is here, what are these that the arcane crystals are also down here?
Good point. I accept they be down here.
I don't know. Why don't you give us another check?
Arcane crystals, I think, is the rule of thumb.
Oh, that was a good roll. So you're looking through crates and whatnot, and you open the top of one crate, and you see little particles covered in like burlap and whatnot. Move it, and you find 3 arcane crystals. I don't have an item for that, so if you just want to make it and add it into your character sheet,
Okay.
what they do later.
As I mentioned, he shouldn't be near from where he's about to be.
Right.
Somebody mentioned that he was himself an upcoming artist, a writer of some sort. Perhaps simply getting the main competition out of the way is motive enough.
Would be, yes. That was my
Damn, that,
theory.
But then
that
why
would be
not?
good for us.
Why not take out Thalion too?
I guess
mean-
compared to the leftover, Thalion wouldn't be much competition.
And in addition, it seemed like he's clearly trying to stage the others to take the murder. So perhaps he had hoped that the investigation would put Thalion behind bars for the murder. Thus,
He's trying to frame Thalion. He left, or this is still throwing me off.
Yeah, there was a
Um,
necklace, and well, the only person that we know that deals with jewelry,
Clarissa.
besides Tara, it's Clarissa.
Well,
just now,
I had it
It is
last.
also the
see it. I'd like to show Clarissa and see if she.
Yeah, go ahead.
He'll take it and walk back up the stairs and show it to Clarissa. Emily is skilled in kind of jewelry. Is this, you think, something of your make?
She takes it and looks at it, and she goes, "Wow, this is a very nice piece of Kalendor jewelry." She goes, "I don't know. It's not. It's not. It must not come from one of the, I don't know, proud Kalendor elf jewelry manufacturers. This looks like something more homemade, but still very, very elegant." She hands it back to you.
That's what I thought. It's becoming even more clear that he. I'm not sure if it was Baylor's, but it was found at the scene along with a note and evidence, but clearly it must have been planted.
Just kind of rolls her eyes, and she's like, "I Winston, for years, I've hooked up with him. He's never how do I don't know. Let me think." Looks, and she goes, "This jewelry does a Kalendor elf."
I see. Now, wait. Were you with Baylor when you hooked up with when?
Oh, I was with Baylor. You mean was I with him like in a relationship?
Yes.
Oh, well, no. All right. Plus, if everything
Right.
goes well, maybe me and you'll be my new.
No. Well, I'm flattered. Saying your name and making sure that you can walk out of here. Do what and whom you please. So, do you have any idea why Winston might want to kill Baylor?
And she looks and she goes, "Not that I would. No, I didn't think they had any sort of relationship."
I see. Alright, well, thank you for the information. It's been. And he'll kind of grab her hand and give a little smooch on it, and then we'll walk back down the stairs into the cellar proper.
where
Not-
did you learn that?
Well, she agrees it is of Kalendor from her craft. It's clearly more homemade, and actually she believes that it might very well be the kind of jewelry that Winston wears, being a Kalendor elf himself.
Hmm.
Remind me again. Weston is the Jew elf, right? Thank you.
Sure.
Uh,
Sure.
Can you remind me again what the note that was found on the safe. A creepy note about vengeance and
Here, Felix will show him the note.
under the well, that it's about the violence. This decree is because of a sudden reckoning. Baylor, you're all in here now, the equal of your fate. A drought of vengeance awaits you, a bitter elixir from the theft of what was once held dear. Alright, a shadow has been cast, promise of retribution for the deeds laid in secrecy, spell which has steered returns as a margin grief. Alright. I have a theory, I guess. Writings was not him.
So I have to ask, the writing of this note clearly is intended to be theatrical in some sort of this kind of text. For those of you who are, is this well written, or does this seem like an amateur trying to be skillful?
Tara.
Well, I mean, in my opinion,
Wait,
I mean,
wait.
you can be an amateur and still be good.
Felix is immediately gonna pull out the while Jinshi and Tara are looking at the note that was in murder evidence. Felix is gonna
Yes,
pull
yes.
out the ledger that Winston wrote to him and see if the handwriting is the same.
All right.
Guidance.
The roll for it. All right. What kind of roll do I need to make?
Whatever
I want
you
to
can
help you.
justify. Probably investigation.
Insight. All right. I will take that with
So do we find
Oh.
18, 21.
Well, I was gonna roll a
Nice.
d20, so you got it.
Yes.
Nice.
You put the notes side by side. What you determine is that it is very similar handwriting.
Don't you have a signed copy of the guy's book? Can we check that?
No, that's other guy actually. This book. Yeah, I asked for enemy to lovers thing, and I want to send to Tara and let her compare the words. If it sounds similar in writing, in metrics, in written rhymes, that sort of thing.
Was this Baylor's book?
Yeah, the book.
Okay. Against the note.
Yeah, against the murder note.
Okay. Myself and insight.
We put the two books up side by side, and you're ledger written by Winston, and you're looking at the book written by Baylor, and they do share a lot of in the style that they're written in, but you can't really determine anything outside of that.
I knew it. Yeah.
Sounds like motive to me.
We have opportunity, we have murder weapon, and we have motive.
Okay, I have a very large favor to ask of you all before we go out there and officially accuse this an enemy of him. May I? Give me 5 minutes. I would love to see if he has any healing potions for sale. Send him off to prison.
Meet then.
5 minutes. 5.
The letter we found said about silver leaf herbs that indeed does have healing properties.
Exactly. Maybe it is very hard keeping you all alive sometime. I need all of the help I can get. Okay, Valen. He's not fond of humans. That was not anybody. I'm doing my best. I just need a little bit of. Can you get to him? about healing stuff. Like, jingle it.
Oh, I think Vayla's.
He's here.
Yes, I believe broken an arrangement with a murderer. Wouldn't be the first time. I think.
Hmm.
All right. Or I guess just
Yep.
Valen.
I'm gonna nod at Jinshi and just get as close to as possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with Valen. I'm just gonna have him, do the talking for the favor. And before we walk all the way in, I just, go with guidance. And I know how much money is in my coin purse, so don't stiff.
I would never. You must think quite low of me to assume I would steal money from you.
I believe I think the same of you as you think of me. Do with that what you will.
Winston, sir.
Ah, Lord High Elf, welcome back.
Lord High Elf, admittedly a new one, but deserved. Um, before we wrap up our investigation, we're pretty sure we have our culprit. Would you mind? We're actually in need of some healing potions. Might we be able to purchase some from you before we finish up?
He looks at you and he says, I don't have any sort of healing potions, but I have soaps and lotions or extra towels. He's like, I even have heated towels, but those cost extra.
Oh. Like turning to look at Tara and just like, he doesn't have any.
Unfortunate.
I think the merchant escapes me in town might have some healing potions.
You're so excellent at the potion making, as we've heard, and wanted to support your business first.
Well, I am fair at potion alchemy, incense, and things of that nature.
Insight. Gone well for me so far. Huh.
Hey.
All right. You can tell there's not total truth in his voice, but he seems pretty composed with his answer.
Right. Well, like I said, I think we're on the cusp of solving this case. Just need a moment or two to wrap up our thoughts, and we'll be back to present our findings.
Oh, that's fantastic. The sooner we can take one of these hoodlums away, the sooner I can open the resort again. All right.
Should we get the guard over to make sure he doesn't try to flee?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Do we? I'll do my mind link with him so that we're not speaking out loud. And then so you hear my voice in your head as you have before, actually. Are we not concerned that he says he doesn't have potions? I mean,
No.
yes.
From what I could tell, though he seemed pretty steadfast, I think he's not giving us the whole truth with that answer.
Just checking. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. Where's Hal? Can't find Hal.
Clarissa and Theo
Check all the doors.
emerge as well. Clarissa immediately runs over to Valen.
Hal was laying on the pillow.
All right.
I suppose I can get Jerry and the others. Oh, they're coming. Okay.
And Jerry comes, says, "What's all this commotion about?" He's obviously disconnected. He doesn't really even
Jerry doesn't remember why we're.
Jerry's just like, did you guys figure out? He turns to the other guy, and the other guy's like, murder. He's like, the murder. Did you guys figure out the murder yet?
Well, we think so.
Sin looks, and he's like, about time. Who is?
And
Hold
comes-
on. These two town guards walk him, and everybody is on edge.
Oh,
And
it's a big thing. Okay.
Winston goes, Who is it? Who is the murderer? Is it Clarissa? Is it Thalion? Or is it Henry?
Well, interesting enough, a lot of the clues would point towards multiple of your different suspects lined up here. Delve deeper and research more and search thoroughly. While I'm talking, I'm trying to talk longer than Aiden's neck. If there's a mark from where a necklace might have been ripped off of him.
Sure. If you want to roll a check of some sort.
I'd be more than happy to. I am not going to guidance myself because that's right here in front of everybody. Probably makes the most sense. I just see around his collar.
Okay. Oh.
18.
Good roll. Oh. So you kind of up and down, adorned head to toe indoor jewelry. And you notice something specific. You notice that all the jewelry of his has little, what are those fucking things called? Pearls? Little pearls all around his necklace. Very similar to the pearls that you found on the necklace that you
pull out the original note and the necklace and poison bottle, and then the list or the letter we found. And point straight to Mr. Winston Winrin.
Winston whips around and he goes, Henry, damn it, I told you to. And then he realizes that everybody's listening. He's just like, this is preposterous. He just goes, Jerry. Well, have I ever done wrong by you? Haven't I always given you free rooms and free warm towelettes every time you've come? And Jerry goes, well, that is a good point. Yeah, I don't.
Warm towelettes do not alleviate someone of being a murderer.
In the cleanup process.
Jerry just rolls his eyes. Come on, Jerry. Jerry just looks at Winston and just goes, look, I don't know, but these people are from the Adventurers Guild. They're not amateurs.
Felix will speak up to Jerry and say, lad, have a good look at the handwriting that seems to be similar from one of the notes that are note.
Jerry kind of
And
looks...
as Felix says that, Al just yells really loud to intimidate him and says, tell the truth!
It says it to Winston.
So, yeah.
You bare your teeth to Winston, and he kind of goes a little bit, and he says, I'm telling the truth. He says, Jerry, please, you have to believe me. It was... And Jerry turns and listens to it about the note, and he looks at the note and all this evidence presented, and can tell he's overwhelmed, and he just goes, that's it. I don't want any more work today. It'll be my free day. I'll tell you what. And he looks and he goes, you tell me which one of these men to take, and we will take them. No questions asked. I just want to be done with this.
Hal's eyes get real wide. And he looks over at and then at Clarissa, and then at Winston, up and stole 10 pieces of gold. And then he looks at Henry, and he's like, and then he looks at
Tara holds up a sweet roll.
Winston. It was Winston.
Winston just goes, this is outrageous. And this guard runs up and grabs him. So does this guard and this guard. And they grab Winston. And he looks at Jerry and he says, that's it. No more. And Jerry just goes, they were never really that clean anyways. And they start walking over here, and he's struggling. And the royal guard Jerry asks, he goes, Winston, why did you do it? Winston looks and he goes, fine, you're right. It was me. It's only because he stole something from me that was very, very important and wouldn't give it back. And the room kind of gets...
Which is the work of your life.
It sounds like a very riveting plot. We should definitely be more invested in. Take him away.
I would like to know what he stole, though. I am curious.
As they're taking him away, he goes, he stole nothing other than my heart in his tale of the mist between the two seas or whatever. And their love story was so great. And then they walk out of the door. And they're all...
Oh, damn. No fucking way.
Dalian walks up and he goes, man, I hope my books have that effect on people someday.
No fucking way. A man was killed because of a book.
Jerry walks up and he goes, oh, that sure was something, wasn't it? Thank you for helping us solve the murder and getting Winston to admit to his awful crimes and clearing the name of Henry and Thalion and Clarissa. He goes, well, our work is done. And he starts leading. He's just like, good luck. He just walks out.
Felix is gonna look over to just say, if I ever get old and someone asks me to write my biography, remind me of this moment so that I'm not foolish enough to write.
I would say totally do. Right. Let people kill each other.
All right. Well, with that, you guys have solved the murder at the resort.
Thank goodness.
So it was Winston.
It was Winston.
Hey!
It was indeed Winston Winran. They're taking him away. He's locked for poor little Winston. He'll never write again. But you do have 3 new friends. Henry, Thalion, and Clarissa.
Well, I think that Vaden has
Well,
more
some
than
of
a
us
friend.
friends, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Thalion says, well, it's been fun. He already has his bags packed, and he says, but I have to be on my way. Hopefully we'll meet again. And then he
Please
walks out
go
the
home
door.
to your wife.
He says, hopefully not. The door. And he leaves. Henry and he goes, well, if nobody else is going to use the pool, that's where I'm going to be. See you later. And he goes and jumps in the pool. And then she looks up at Valen and says, well, unfortunately, like I told you before, I have nothing and I am broke. All I can offer you is my heart and this body. She looks at me. And she says, please, I've never met a man like you before. Take me with you on your adventures.
I look at Tara, or Hal looks at Tara and says, I could throw her in the pool if you like.
Can you throw both of them in the...
Yes. Hal walks over and uses this.
To grab both of them?
Yes.
All right. You just gonna let Hal
he's
walk up and grab
I'm
a
in a
woman like
rage.
that, Valen?
No, I'm grabbing Valen and her, and I'm going to use a rage so that I can get strength advantage.
All right.
Oh.
Well, you rage, and you
All
go
right.
and you
Dang
try
it.
to grab both of them. But yes, Valen stops
My hands
you.
are too sticky from the sweet roll that I got.
In a show of unkicked strength, Valen manages to take him. Although it doesn't seem to put up much of a fight for Clarissa. So if he wishes to take Clarissa to the pool,
Hal grabs Clarissa, and she just goes, "You're gonna let him take me?" And she starts crying.
He's too strong. I can't.
That is a perfect.
She bobs and weaves and gets up and starts over here washing herself off. And she says, "It's true. You're just like the others." And then she runs away defeated.
Come on,
Over there.
Valen. The poor woman.
Alright.
You can
Right.
be so disheartened.
Well, with that, is there anything else that you guys would like to do while we're here in the resort?
I think everyone is good for now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, guys, with that, you did complete, like I said, the Murder in Paradise quest. Or not completed. I guess you'll have to turn it in. But this is a good spot since it is approaching 10 o'clock to end our session. So, we are going to hit the game with a big pause. Boom. I'm going to do a little outro. Thank you guys so much for watching. For those of you that are watching at home, thank you guys for playing my stupid little murder mystery. I hope everyone. And you know what that means. Session 10, we get a mission of Act 1.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So yes, until then, take it easy, everybody. Thanks for watching.